Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. If you are new here, my name is Angelica. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm sharing my healthy weight loss wellness journey online, and I am just trying to glow up. Today I wanted to share my weekly meal prep with you. It's definitely non-traditional. I'm not making like a bunch of meals in containers because I'm not working in an office or anything. So most of what I eat, I have the ability to cook a little bit like that day. However, you can easily go ahead and prep the other parts of the meals to make it like a full week. So I'm going to show you what I'm meal prepping this week. I'm going to make busy pizza, like skinny pizza dough. And I'm going to make some spaghetti sauce with some ground turkey, and hopefully it's going to turn out good. My plan for breakfast this week is Felicia combo, so I can't really meal prep that unless I wanted to just make a bunch of hash browns maybe, but that is not the plan. So since I'm only doing those two things, I also want to add in like my day of eating to show you kind of how it looks in a normal day when I'm eating it and give you a better idea of how your meal prep could look. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Don't forget to subscribe down below and let's start meal prepping. So I'm going to start on this spaghetti sauce. I have never made my own spaghetti sauce. I usually just eat plain spaghetti, to be honest. It's like my favorite thing in the world. But we're going to try something different. I'm starting with some olive oil in the pan. And I'm going to throw in some extra lean ground turkey for 0 points. I'm going to turn this on like a medium. And I'm going to add some salt and pepper. And I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of Italian seasoning. Alright, now I'm going to throw in a can of beef broth. And I'm going to do a good spoon of garlic. Okay, maybe not that much. I'm going to put in this whole 6-ounce container of tomato paste. And I'm going to add 1 can of tomato sauce. You could probably do diced tomatoes if you're like into that, but I'm just trying to follow the recipe. And then I'm going to put in some more Italian seasoning, a little bit of extra basil, a little bit more salt, and a little bit more pepper. We're going to be seasoned queens over here. Now I'm going to mix it all together and let it come to a boil. And then once it starts boiling, I will turn it down and let it simmer for a pretty long time, like 30 to 45 minutes. The recipe says 45, but we'll see. It definitely smells good and smells like spaghetti sauce. This is kind of similar to what I do when I make my 0-point marinara. So I can see how this will turn out good. It smells amazing. This is going to be a 0-point mixture, so the only points we're going to have is the pasta. And I'm not going to pre-make that and then separate it out since I'm not working in an office or anything. I'm just going to store this in the fridge once it's done. And then daily I'm going to make however much spaghetti I want that day. And then I'll just top it with some of this. So I'm going to turn it down, put the lid on it, and let it simmer. And I will show you what it looks like when it's done. The smell of this is reminding me of my chicken parm pasta, which is like one of my favorite recipes ever. And it's making me want chicken parm pasta now, but we're having spaghetti. But seriously, if you have not made the chicken parm pasta that I make, you really need to. It is so good. I'll try to link a video up in the corner of that one. I have tasted this and it tastes absolutely amazing. It looks really good, smells really good, tastes good. I think I'm going to throw in like the teeniest tiny bit of crushed red pepper. It could just use a little bit of warmth to me. This is a leftover packet from Fazoli's. I'm not going to put like any because I don't want it to be super spicy, but I'm just going to add a little bit. And I also added a little bit of minced onion seasoning. Like I was saying, just a little bit because I don't want it to be too hot, and I can always put this on top of the spaghetti dish when I'm eating it if I want a little more kick, but just a little bit, just adding a little bit. My little secret ingredient, Comment below if I'm the only one who has this type of stuff in my house. I think I might even have Fazoli's Parmesan and like McDonald's sweet and sour and all that. I just keep it. I don't want to waste it, and I know I can use it. So let me know if I'm the only one on that. Okay, it's been a little while. This looks absolutely amazing. I'm so happy with how it turned out, and it was really, really easy to do, really quick, and definitely good for meal prep this week. Now I'm gonna move on to making some busy kitchen pizza dough. I tried this a few weeks ago and I actually really liked it, and I think I'm gonna do it again. What just hit me is I'll probably be living in like Heartburn City this week, but that's fine. It is what it is. Yeah, so let's move on to the pizza dough. Okay, so to start out with our busy kitchen dough, we're going to start with 2 cups of self-rising flour, which I really hope I have in this bag. Now I'm going to go ahead and add 1 teaspoon of this yeast. I'm using active dry yeast. Then it says half of a teaspoon of salt. I'm going to use this and just try to make it look like half. And we're going to mix our dry ingredients. Now you're going to add half a cup of non-fat plain Greek yogurt. Usually these little Great Value containers are exactly half a cup, but I am going to measure it to make sure. I'm going to combine this a little bit. And we're going to go in with half a cup of water. You can add up to 3/4 a cup of water if you need it. Just kind of watch, you know, how your dough turns out so that it doesn't get too sticky. So I'm going to start with the half a cup. I do think I can use just a tiny bit more. I'm going to see if that will be good enough. I'm going to knead it just a little bit on the counter, so I'm going to flour that, flour my plate a little that I'm going to put it on, and I'm going to flour my hands. And we're going to get this big beautiful dough ball out of there. This is nothing like the 2-ingredient dough. It's not sticky like 2-ingredient dough is. It doesn't have the same taste. It rises in the oven, which is probably my favorite part of it because it's not so thin like the 2-ingredient dough can be. The website says this can be used in about 2 to 3 hours, but that she usually lets it sit in the microwave for the first 24, or that you can store it in the fridge. I put it in the fridge last time and I didn't love it, so I'm going to sit it in the microwave probably until the end of the night, and then tonight I'll put it into little containers. I will split this into 4. That makes the dough like 6 points each, and then you add all of your pizza toppings, or of course you can use it for bagels and that type of stuff. But I think I'm going to stick to pizza probably this week. We'll see what happens, but either way I'll let it sit in the microwave on this plate that I floured a little bit because I don't want it to stick. Here is what the dough looks like. I still do not own plastic wrap. I should have bought some, but it's not something that I keep and use ever. So I'm just gonna sit it in the microwave and I'll show you what it looks like at the end of the night. I wanted to show you the kind of after it's been in the microwave for like 3 hours. I think it did rise a little bit, like it looks taller. I wish I had gotten all angles earlier. It is 8:30 now. I probably won't go to bed until like, I don't know, 11, 12, 2, whatever time I fall asleep. But I'll probably end up going to bed, like to stay in bed around 10 or 11. So right before that, I will put it in individual containers, but I kind of just wanted to check on it. She's growing. So I got my dough ball out. It did grow a little bit more, or rise a little bit more, I guess is the proper term. And I split it into 3, so I did like 4 quarters, but then I left half of it together because I might just make one big pizza and then just cut it in half, eat half of it, and then reheat it the next day like in the air fryer. So these 2 is what 1/4 looks like. So this is a 6-point serving, and I'll insert pictures of how it turned out last time, that way you know. And I also had a video on it, and this is a bigger one for kind of like a full-size pizza. It might not look like much, but this is definitely top tier pizza dough. And I would love to know in the comments if you have tried it, what's your favorite stuff to put on it. I was thinking about making kind of like a pizza hot pocket type of thing with them this week. There's just a lot you can do with this dough once you do make it. So I like that I can kind of batch make it and meal prep it in this way. And then I don't have to do as much with it later. Good morning, guys. I'm getting started on my second cup of coffee this morning. This is just a small one. The first one was black, but I don't think I'm going to count any points for this one. So it's still hot. I'm going to pour a little bit of this into it for like a creamer, like literally just a tiny bit. And I'm not going to count points for that. And I'm going to sprinkle also just a tiny bit of sweet and low in there. Ta-da. I'm about to get started with breakfast, and I do usually post a what I eat in a day every Wednesday in case you're new here. So definitely come back for that one too on Wednesday because I might be eating something different. Maybe something that I didn't meal prep that will give you some ideas of what I eat. So we've got our coffee. I believe I'm ready to start the day. I'm going to start with breakfast by going ahead and popping one side of this pack in the microwave. I'm going to have 2 per day with my breakfast, so this will be 3 days. They store really well in the fridge, and then they take like 30 seconds to reheat, so I love doing that. So 1 point for 2 of these. I just shared these in my grocery haul. If you missed it, it was a big vlog, lots of fun. I had like so much energy in that video. And then over here, I have 1 1/3 cup of hash browns. Here's my 5-point breakfast. She looks absolutely beautiful. I decided to add some spinach on the side, which of course it looks like a tiny amount of spinach, but it was actually like an entire handful. This is 2 bites for 1/3 cup of cottage cheese, 2 bites for the hash browns that I have, 0 for the eggs, and 1 for the 2 sausage links. And I think it's usually around like 350 to 400 calories. It's literally so good. Okay, I have my dough rolled out. So what I did is I spray it with Pam, and then I sprinkle a little bit of flour on it, spread it out a little bit, and this is the 1 serving, so this is 6 bites. And then this is what I'm going to put on it. I'm going to throw some spinach on there, again, just because, you know, why not? I'm using 1/4 cup of Prego, 1/4 cup of this Maselli's cheese. Not sure where you can buy it, but it's not too bad on points. And then I'm going to do 1/8 cup of Colby Jack because I don't like just this cheese on it, if that makes sense. And I think that's all I'm going to do. Sometimes I add bacon bits, sometimes I add onions, but I think I'm just going to stick to this. Honestly, I'm kind of feeling it. And this is going to bring it to 12 bites total. You can definitely make it lower if you are a fan of fat-free cheese. Here on my channel, we do not support fat-free cheese, but it's cool if you like to eat it. I just, you know, life is too short for fat-free cheese. So I'm going to throw all this on, and then I'm going to pop it in the oven at like 380 for probably about 10 minutes. It's going to be so good. They turn out so beautiful. Here is the pizza. Obviously, I don't even have to tell you she's beautiful. Look at her. Okay, look at her in the sun. Like, wow, she is glowing. So I'm super looking forward to this lunch. There's literally so much you can do with this dough. I have made Hawaiian barbecue chicken pizza, really, really good. I've made chicken, like chicken bacon ranch pizza. You can make normal, like pepperoni pizza. You can turn it into little pizza bombs. I've done that before with a 2-ingredient dough. It would be so good with this. You really don't have to limit yourself. This is one of my favorite recipes at this point to meal prep, and yeah, let's get into the pizza. And last but not least is my spaghetti dinner. This was so good. It was only 7 bites for the dinner, 1 bite for the Parmesan that I put on top, and then 6 bites for 1 cup of pasta. So there's my meal prep and what it looked like going through a day of eating with those meals. Thank you so much for watching. Don't stop the glow up, and I will see you next time.